What's up everyone, I'm back with another video, and today's video is a movie review, and that movie is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, directed by the one and only, the infamous Michael Bay. Now, before we get this review started, I just want to say, I never really watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoons when I was younger. I just never got the chance to. I always wanted to check them out, but never got the chance to, and I still haven't really watched them, but I plan to eventually. This is important because going to this movie, I've heard some people like the movie, think it's fun, a good movie, and other people hate it because they're mainly the Teenage Mutant Ninja fans. So I just wanted to let you know my perspective. When I go to this, this is like the first time I'm going to see the Turtles properly. And from what I've seen in the movie, this might be an unpopular opinion, but honestly, I enjoyed the movie. I honestly, from what I know of the Turtles, I think they did a pretty good job representing the Turtles and the storyline. Now, saying that, I do not know that much about the Turtles, so I could be completely wrong. But from my perspective, going and seeing the movie for what it is, I thought it was a very enjoyable and funny movie. Now, let's get this started with. This is going to be a spoiler. I want to try to keep this review spoiler free. Obviously, because this is a movie review, you're probably watching it because you want to see if the movie's worth seeing in the first place. Now, with that all being said, let's begin. The Turtles, of course, are the main reason you want to see this movie, and there's four, obviously. There's Raphael, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Donatello. Raphael, this is how you can describe. Raphael is like the big tough guy. He's the guy who wants to fight. He's just like the hot-headed guy in the Turtles. Michelangelo is like the goofy comedy, what's the word for it? Like, I don't want to say like comedic effect because it makes it sound like I'm downplaying his character. That's not that important. Like he's like as good as fire as the rest of them, but he's like the more outgoing, funny one. Then we have Donatello, who is, what's the right way to say this? He's a genius, really. Like, he's obsessed with like technology. I don't want to call him a nerd or geek, because I don't mean that as an insulting way, but you know, he's pure like. He's into his technology. He's the smart one. He's basically the brains of the operation between the four of them. He has all the gadgets. He's just a genius. That's the best way to put it. He just has everything. And for saying that, he's no pushover. He's a great fighter himself and very entertaining to watch. And it's probably one of the most down to earth out of the Turtles, despite his his intelligence. And then of course we have the final Turtle, the man himself, the leader. Leonardo, my personal favourite of the Turtles. This guy is the cool-headed, calculating. He's the leader. You will trust him. He never rushes into battle. Always thinks ahead and tries to make the good judgment calls. I think he's my personal favourite Turtle, and I think he's just an awesome character. And then we move on to the master, Splinter. I thought, when I first saw the way Splinter looked, like the Turtles, their faces, they never bothered me. But for the first couple of seconds when I saw Splinter in a trailer, I was like, I don't know, like, he looks okay, but I don't know if this will work for me. But when seeing the movie, it did. Splinter was an awesome character. I loved every moment he was on screen. He was badass. And it's not really spoiler, but eventually he fights. And when he starts fighting, you swear you're actually watching a real giant-sized rat move around the place, beating up people. He's just a really fun character to watch, and he's just badass as always. Then we have probably the most controversial of all the casting choices, Megan Fox. I know, as April O'Neil. This is probably going to be the most unpopular decision the statement I'm going to make in this review. Well, to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans anyway. And that is this. Megan Fox, despite everything I wanted to think about her, she wasn't that bad in this movie. Now, I know, I never thought I'd say that Megan Fox made a good April O'Neil, but I don't know too much about April O'Neil, but I thought Megan Fox did a pretty good job. A lot better than she did in the Transformers. She felt, I'm actually going to say it, she actually felt like a down-to-earth person in this. I was amazed. I was like, my god, Megan Fox actually pulled it off. And honestly, I really enjoyed watching her character interact with the Turtles. I can't complain about her. There's nothing she did bad with the movie. I thought she did very well in the movie. That's all I had to say about that. She was really enjoyable, which surprises me more than anything. And then we move on to Stax. Stax is like a scientist. Okay. Basically, he's a scientist who worked with April O'Neil or Megan Fox in this father. And basically he has this like serum where he's trying to cure people and all that. I don't want to say too much about getting spoiled into the story, so I can't really say too much about him. He's an interesting character. But moving on to the last one, the big guy, the guy who you need to get right to make this movie good, and that was Shredder. And by God, this guy was just badass. First of all, when you just see like your normal form, when he's just like not wearing any armor, he looks intimidating as hell. He's a big, huge guy. He looks menacing, intimidating. But the armor, oh my God, the armor he wore in this was just overkill. It was a big hulking mech of. It was really like a mech. It's like a robot in itself. It's just this big giant metal suit, like really big. And the blades, he literally just goes like this, and like I said, I don't know, like 10 blades come out in one hand. And I'm like, do you really need that many swords? That's just overkill. I mean, that's on one hand. With two of them, that's like 20 swords, and he can fire these and they come back at him. This guy was just badass, and he really seemed to be a menacing character. And it was, I can't believe, I'm just very pleasantly surprised with this movie, because everyone did a good job. They all portrayed the characters very well, in my opinion. From the limited knowledge I know about the characters from the cartoon and, I believe, comics. And saying that, my final thing I wanted to say about this movie is that the action is great in this movie. It's badass. It's just so good. The CGI, which I normally don't like, I did very well in this movie. The storyline, there's not too much of a storyline. It's made just like basic, your turtles have to stop Shredder from evil plan. It's the basics. Everyone did a good job portraying the characters. I really believe they did a good job. The comedy was brilliant. There were some moments where I just couldn't stop laughing. They did a really good job with the movie. And I believe that's it. The movie is really good. I recommend any of you check it out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fans from the old days, I say check it out because you might like it. I say, and for people who've never seen it, I'd recommend check it out. It's a good time, it's fun, and I recommend any of you check it out. It was a great movie and it's well worth checking out. Until always, I'll see you next time.